having to declare a 5 different variables. For example, a comma b comma c comma d comma e. If five numbers or five values to have to store, and we have to declare in declaration section 5 variables or 10 values for 10 variables. So this is the main disadvantage or inconvenience in any programming languages. And to avoid this inconvenience, the arrays topic is the very useful. We can write only one variable with more than one memory locations, but we have to store the all same data type. If it is integer array, we have to store the all integer variables in that particular memory location. And it is very easy to allocate or identify memory locations because of it is all adjacent locations side by side. In C++, elements of an array can be initialized one by one using a single statement. With the help of comma, we can give the more than one values in the same in this initialization itself. That is can also called as initialization while declaration. The number of values between braces cannot be larger than the number of elements that we have declared for the array between the square brackets. An array is a collection of elements of same data type placed in a adjacent memory locations that can be individually referenced by the using an index to a unique identifier. For example, 5 elements in integer array A may be logically represented as A of 0, A of 1, A of 2, A of 3, A of 4, because there is no fifth location. So totally we are having 5 locations because of it is starting from 0 and the last number is 4, A of 4, where each blank panel represents an element of the array without having to declare 5 different variables. Where each blank panel presents an element of the array. In this case, these are values of type integer. These elements are numbered from 0 to 4, with 0 being the first while 4 is being the last. The index of the first array element is always 0. So in this slide, example is balance, so that is array name. Balance, so array name. In this balance array name, we created 5 memory locations. As expected, an array must be declared prior its use. A typical declaration for an array in C++, type, that is integer or float or like a character like that, type name and array name, and within the square brackets how many elements or how many numbers we are going to store or how many memory location you are going to allocate. So that is once again I am repeat, type name within the square brackets elements. Okay, where type is a valid type such as integer, float, character like that, and name is a valid identifier, and the elements field which is always enclosed in the square brackets, also called as indexed brackets. It specifies the size of the array. It specifies the size of the array. In example, we can write as int a of 5. A bracket within the bracket 5 a, or we can call as balance integer balance of 5. Here we can notice or remember the elements field within square brackets representing the number of elements in the array must be a constant expression, since arrays are blocks of static memory whose size must be known as compile time. While compiling itself, it is created the memory location. So we can initialize the array by default are left uninitialized. This means that none of its elements are set to any particular value. Their contents are undetermined at the point the array is declared. That means while declare the variable, we can initialize the values there itself. That means all constants, fixed values. Arrays, multi-dimensional arrays, single-dimensional arrays, two-dimensional arrays, certain types of arrays is there. Then multi-dimensional arrays, C++ supports multi-dimensional arrays. The simplest form of the multi-dimensional array is two-dimensional array. And pointers to arrays, so you can generate a pointer to the first element of an array by simply specifying the array name without any index. The array first location, the name of itself is the starting address of the array that we can assign to the pointer. That means the base address of the array you can store into the pointer. Passing arrays to functions. So you can pass the to the functions pointers to an array by specifying the array's name without any index. Just name itself is the address. C++ allows a function to return an array. Elements in an array can be explicitly initialized to specific values when it is declared by enclosing those initial values in curly braces. So like for example, integer balance of 5, that is 5 is within the square brackets, equal to curly braces begin 16 comma 2 comma 77 comma 40 comma 120, any number like that. So 5 numbers I gave to this balance array. That's a fixed number. So this statement declares an array that can be represented the number of values between braces, curly braces, shall not be greater than the number of elements in the array. That means we gave 5 in the square brackets, no? So that is the 5. That means you should not exceed the 5 elements. So where you can have to giving in the assigning in the curly braces. So balance was declared having 5 elements as specified by the number of enclosed in the square brackets, and the curly braces contain the exactly 5 values, 1 for each element. If declared with less, the remaining elements are set to their default values. Like zeros or some garbage values like this. If it is empty, you can give the less number of values to this array, but you should not exceed the specified number of values into the array. When initializers of value is provided an array, C++ allows the possibility of the leaving the square brackets empty. In this case, the compiler will assume automatically. A compiler will assumes automatically a size for the array that matches the number of values included between the braces. Okay, int balance of empty square brackets equal to 16 comma 2 comma 77 comma 40 comma 1. That means I gave 5 values. So after this declaration, array balance would be 5 integer, since we have provided 5 initialized values. Finally, the evaluation of C++ had led to the adoption of universal initialization also for arrays. Therefore, there is no longer need for the equal sign between the declaration and the initializer. So both the statements are equal, like just like integer balance, empty brackets, square brackets, numbers. Less number of elements you can give it. Here the number of array n is calculated by the compiler by using the formula. Static arrays and those declared directly in a namespace are always initialized. If no explicit initialize is specified, all the elements are default initialized. And array accessing also, the values of any of the elements in an array can be accessed just like the values of regular array of the same type. For example, name of index, just bracket. So following this previous examples in I gave in the previous slide, which balance array had 5 elements and each of those elements was of type integer. The name which can be used to refer the each element is following. In C++, it is a syntactically correct to exceed the valid range of indices for an array. This can create a problem since accessing out of range elements do not cause errors on the compilation, but can cause errors in runtime. This reason for this being runtime, for this being allowed because of index checking slows down program execution. At this point, it is important to be able to clearly distinguish between two uses that brackets have related to arrays. They perform two different tasks. So one is to specify the size of the arrays when they are declared, and second one is to specify the index for concrete array elements when they are accessed. The main difference is that declaration so can pass the values. Whereas we can use this single dimensional arrays and two dimensional arrays and characters arrays. So the characters arrays is the best example for the strings handling functions. In single dimensional array, we can execute the number of programs like sorting of array, searching elements for array, that is binary search, like that number of sorting techniques and binary techniques you can use in single dimensional array. So where in two dimensional arrays, it is very, very important for the matrices, mathematical related programs you can execute in matrices, in mathematics. In strings, that is also called as character arrays. So that we'll see in the next slide. So in the one more important topic is in pointers. So pointer is nothing but it is a variable. Pointer is a variable, but it holds the address of the another variable. In generally, all variables are stored in integer values or float values or character like that. But whereas especially pointer variables, it stores the address of another variable. We can notice or we can identify the pointer variable in star symbol. Pointer is user defined data type which creates special type of variables which can hold the address of primitive data type like character, integer, float, double or user defined data type like functions, pointers, etc. A derived data type like array, structure, union, enumerated data type. Pattern రావట్లేదు. Incorrect pattern. A pointer is a variable whose value is the address of another variable. Like any variable or constant, you must declare a pointer before you can work with it. So general syntax of pointer is data type star, that is a pointer name. So star indicates that it is the pointer. For example, it is integer a comma star b. So a is the regular normal variable, that is integer variable, whereas b is the pointer, that is a pointer declaration. Int star ip double float char, like that. So pointer to an integer, pointer to a double, pointer to float, pointer to characters. Next slide. Pointers just pointer is a variable in C++ that holds the address of another variable. They have data type just like variables. An integer type pointer can hold the address of an integer variable, and character type pointer can hold the address of character variable. An integer type pointer can hold the address of another integer variable. There are few important operations which we will do with the pointer very frequently. First one is we define a pointer variables, assigning the address of a variable to the pointer, and third one is the finally access the value at the address variable available in the pointer variable. So this is done by using unary operator star that returns the value of the variable located at the address specified by operand. While handling arrays with pointers, that means pointers and arrays are pointers with arrays. While handling arrays with pointers, we need to take care few things. First, and very important to note that regarding array is that the array name alone represents the base address of array. So, while assigning the address of array to pointer, don't use the ampersand symbol before that. That means array name itself is the base address. So that we have to remember. When we are accessing the value of a variable through pointer, sometimes we just need to increment or decrement the value of variable through it, or we may need to move the pointer to next to the integer position. So this is the plus operator, increment operator is used for this purpose. So C++ pointers and details. C++ null pointer. C++ supports null pointer, which is a constant with a value of 0 defined in several standard libraries. C++ pointer arithmetic. There are 4 arithmetic operators that can be used on pointers: plus, minus, plus and minus. C++ pointers versus arrays. So there is a close relationship between the pointers and arrays. C++ array of pointers. So we can define arrays to hold the number of pointers. C++ pointers with pointers. So C++ allows you have to pointer on a pointer and so on. So that is the nested pointers like that. Passing pointers to functions. Passing an argument by reference or by addressing both enables passed arguments to be changed in the calling function by the called function. And return pointer from functions. C++ allows a function to return pointer locally. And string. So it's also called as a character arrays. In C++, strings is an object of std, string.h. So string class that represents the sequence of characters. There is a group of characters that is enclosed in the double quotations. So we can perform many operations on strings, such as string concatenation, string comparison, and string reverse, string ignore case comparison, string length, string copy. So like that we can that is all string.h header file. That is all the string handling functions. String variable contains a collection of characters surrounded by a double quotations. So anything, whatever it may be, anything, it is characters or numbers or special characters or anything, but it should be enclosed in the double quotations. So using these strings, you must include an additional header file in the source code string library. So the character strings oriented within the C language and the continues to be supported within the C++. The same thing. So this string is actually one-dimensional array of characters. One-dimensional array of characters. So which is terminated by a null character. That means a null character indicates that it tells, so that is the end of the string. So to avoid the garbage values from output, the null character is very, very important. Thus a null character terminal string contains the character that compress the string followed by a null. So after null characters, the unwanted characters will not be printed in the output. So in this string copy, that is strcpy, so that is the string handling function, and string for string concatenation strcat, and string length for strlen, string comparison strcmp, character in string strchr, that is a character in string. So the following declaration and initialization creates a string consists of the word hello. The hold the null character at the end of the array. The size of the character array containing the string is one more than the number of the character in the word hello. So method 1, method 2. See the slide, observe the slide. So we can in method 1 we can give the individual characters with the help of comma, and in this second method we can give the in double quotes hello directly. We can give hello. At the end of the string automatically it supplies a null character. The null character it indicates that is the end of the string. End of the string. Character. So character is the array type, and greetings is the array name, 6 is the array capacity, and HELLO are the elements, and last is the null character. So automatic output greeting messages are just hello will pin. So without null character, the unnecessary unwanted garbage value so will come to the output. So on previous slide we discussed the string copy, string concatenation, string length, string comparison, string character. Returns a pointer the first character of the string. S1 string S1 is the string 1 and S2 is the string 2. String copy means it copies the one string into another string. That is S1 comma S2 means it copies string 2 into string 1. That means right to left always. Next, string concatenation. String concatenation means joining two separate string. Joining the two separate strings. That is string concatenation. Also called as append, joining together. String length. Length means it shows the number of characters contains the string. For example, create cat. The cat string is the string length is the 3 characters. For example, khammam is the string, and the length of the string length of the khammam is 7 characters, like that. And see this example: string copy, string concatenation, and string length. And 3 examples, 3 functions examples it is covered in the this example. Observe the example in the slide. And next most important topic is the file handling in C++. File handling provides a mechanism to store the output of a program in a file and to perform various operations on it. In C++, we have a set of file handling methods. This includes ifstream, offstream, and fstream. These classes are derived from fstreamable base and from the corresponding iostream class. Where it is the programming word or not. Files are vital as they store data. In this file handling, we are going to discuss the opening a file, writing a file, reading from a file, closing a file. So these are the most important topics in file handling chapter. So file handling concept of C++ language is used for a store data permanently in the computer. Using the file handling, we can store our data in secondary memory hard disk. So why this file handling function, and what is the use of using the file handling function in the programming? For permanent storage. And basically the outputs are temporarily. So if it is we are going to give a huge data input data, and automatically the output is also very valuable. So in this situation we are going to save the output data permanently in secondary storage devices. The transfer of input data, output data from one computer to another can be easily done by using the files. Files are used to store the data in storage device permanently. So file handling function provides a mechanism to store the output of a program in a file and to perform various operations on it. A stream is an abstraction that represents device on which operations of input and output are performed. A stream can be represented as a source or destination of characters in indefinite length of depending on its usage. In C++, we have a set of file handling methods. So these classes are derived from fstream base and from the corresponding iostream classes. For read and write from a file, you need to another standard C++ library called fstream, which defines three new data types: offstream, ifstream, fstream. So offstream, this is used to create a file and write data on files. ifstream, this is ifstream, this is used to read data from files. Fstream, this is used to both read and write data from or to files. Offstream, this stream is class significance output of files and is applied to create the files or writing information to files. ifstream, this streams the class significance in the input file stream and is applied to reading the information from files. And fstream is the both reading and writing of files. So all the above three classes are derived from fstream base and from the corresponding iostream class, and they are designed specifically to manage disk files. So C++ provides us with the following operations: file handling, creating a file for open, reading file data read, writing new data write, and closing file is close. So how to achieve file handling? For achieving file handling in C++, we need follow the following steps: naming a file, opening a file, reading data from file, writing data into file, or closing file. So this is very important. So to open a file, open; to close a existing file, close; to read a single character from a file, get; and write a single character into file, put; read data from file, read; write data from write. So these are the file handling functions. So they observe this slide, just file read operation. So generally the first operation performed on an object of one of these classes is to associate it to a read file. So this procedure is known as to open a file. Open a file. We can open a file using any one of the following methods. So first one is the bypass the file name, and it is constructed at the time of object creation. Second is using the open function. Open function. So general syntax is void open constant or character or file name. So here the first argument of the function defines the name and format of the file with the address of the file. So while opening the file, we have to give the mode, reading mode or writing mode, we have to specify. Input mode and append mode are combined which represents the file is open or writing the appending the output at the end. So as soon as the program terminates, the memory is erased and frees up the memory allocated and closes the file which are open. But it is better to use the close function to close the opened files after the use of the file. So we have to apply the open function and the new file object. We give the name new file to the new file we wish to create, and we set the mode out which allows to write in our file. We use a if statement to the find if the file already exists or not. If does exist, then it will going to print file creation failed. Or it will go create a new file and print new file created. The file handling in C++, if you wish to learn in this slide, observe this example, writing mode and reading mode. So while opening a file, we have to give the modes, reading mode or writing mode or append mode, we have to declare. We have to specify the while declaration.